Okay, good afternoon. I think we have everybody. A warm welcome to our secondary school year 6 to 7 transition evening. I'm Mark Ford, I'm the principal, and I'm just going to kick the evening off. So a warm welcome to all of our existing year 6 students who are joining us this afternoon, and a warm welcome to your mums and dads too, and a particular warm welcome to those students who are joining us from other primary schools and will be new to the English College in September, or at the end of August, I should say. This afternoon is really the ongoing process of making sure that I'm talking to the year 6 students here, that your transition to the secondary school is really exciting, it's really comfortable, and it's an opportunity for you to ask any questions or to find out more about the school before you officially join us in August. And for mums and dads, likewise, it's an opportunity for you to ask questions of the team and to make sure that when you and your families join the secondary school in August, at the end of August, that we all hit the ground running. So this is only the start of the process, and I'll just start by reinforcing that one of our mantras as a leadership team and as a school is we always want you to communicate with us. So although this is a formal process this evening, please don't wait for such opportunities to talk to us, to contact us if you have any questions or concerns as you approach the summer break and even during the summer break, because we are conscious that the transition to secondary school, it's a big step. It's a big step for your children, and it's a big step for you too. So please use this evening as an opportunity to ask questions and have any concerns or anxieties alleviated. But please feel free that between now and the end of August, we're always here to help you and to be there to support wherever that's needed. Tomorrow's obviously an exciting day for the students, and Barry and Emily will be talking about that in more detail throughout the process. There'll also be an opportunity in August, another formal opportunity to come and visit us before school starts in full right at the end of August. But between now and then, obviously any questions or concerns that you have, we're here to help, and we're here to make sure that your children have a very smooth and a very easy and enjoyable transition, leaving their primary schools and then heading on to the big secondary school ahead. So I'm going to hand over to Emily Hopkinson, who's our head of secondary, and she'll talk you through what this evening is going to look like. Enjoy.
Thank you. Hopefully you can all hear me well. So this evening, it's all about, as Mr. Ford said, it's all about making sure that you and your sons and daughters feel informed and feel comfortable about what will happen this side of the summer break and then in August and September as well. We're going to introduce a few people. So I will be the head of the secondary school, and also some other key people, some other faces that you may come across, and Mr. Charters as well. And then we'll get into a little bit in terms of what tomorrow will look like, so you know exactly what to expect. So I will be the head of secondary school in August, and I have a deputy head of secondary that's joining me from DBS. She's actually in school tomorrow, excitingly, so all the children will get to meet her tomorrow. And then we have 3 assistant head teachers in the secondary school, and they're in charge of a key stage each. So Mr. Edmonds is in charge of the bigger students, so those in year 12 and 13 in key stage 5. Miss Eyre is in charge of our GCSE year group, so year 10 and 11, and Mr. Chaters, who you'll hear most of from tonight, is in charge of key stage 3, so that's year 7, year 8 and year 9. So it's his job to welcome our students into year 7, make sure they feel safe, supported and comfortable, and to be a key person of contact as well as the form tutor if they have any concerns at all. So we 5 as a secondary team work together to make sure that our students have everything that they need. We are so lucky with the facilities that we have, and we've not really used them to their full extent this year, obviously because of COVID, but we've got a brand new beautiful library that's really comfortable and really well resourced for our children. We've got a fully equipped gym that's a bit like it's a fitness studio, it's a bit like a CrossFit studio that our older students are enjoying at the moment. We have a secondary sports hall just for us as a primary sports hall as well. And we have a huge, beautiful new building with outside terraces and steps. Those of you that have had a tour of the building already may have already seen the facilities, and our students will see them for the first time tomorrow. So our current Year 6 students that are currently at EC haven't even seen these facilities. So they will be brand new to everybody, regardless of whether you're joining us from our own school community or from a different school community. So it's really, really important that we take a moment to speak about our values as a school. We're a values-based school, and these run through absolutely everything that we do. So we want to make sure that our students leave us with brilliant results, but more than that, they are well-rounded, professional, young people who can succeed in the world. So respect is so important to us, to have respect for themselves, the world around them, property, other people, and everything that we do really just come back to respect. Our behaviour policy is all based around respecting other people and respecting yourself. We want our young people to aspire to the very, very best, whatever that is. That might be culinary school, it might be dance, it might be Oxbridge, but whatever is for them, we want them to aspire to be the very, very best in their field. We want our young people to be able to collaborate and work together to problem solve, to learn how different people work. We don't always all get on in life, so it's about working together to be able to work with other people, experience different people and learn and grow. We want our young people to be excellent, not only in terms of being the best they can be, but ambassadors for the school. We want them to really strive their best. So we're looking for 100% attendance where possible. We're looking for them to be as well behaved as they can possibly be. Finally, responsibility is really, really important to us, that our children learn about responsibility. They learn how to take responsibility for themselves, for their actions, for the world around them. And everything that we do comes back to these values. So this might seem a long way off, but it would be remiss of me to not celebrate some of our successes with you here this evening. So last year, our GCSE results were excellent. As you can see, over 2/3 of our school community achieved 9 to 6 grades, so A star to B in old currency grades. Now we are incredibly proud of this. These are really, really high results, and our A levels are even higher. There's not a comparison between GCSE and A levels. The jump between GCSEs and A levels is so high, and we still maintain over 2/3 of our grades getting those top grades. Now, when you consider that we are non-selective as a school, our cohort is modest. We have students that come in with average predicted grades and they achieve excellent outcomes. And that's because of the care and support that we give our students in our community. And I'll just take a moment to explain what we mean by value added. Value added data compares what students are projected to get when they enter our school based on their Cat 4 assessment compared to what they actually get at the end. And we take both of those measures and we see if students have achieved in line with what they were projected to, above or below. And in the vast majority of our students exceed aspirational target grades. So it's called adding value to students. So there's something about the school, teaching, the learning, the support, the care, there's something that adds value to our students. So not only are we getting incredibly competitive, high raw attainment results, our students are achieving way beyond their potential because of what's happening at our school. So we're so proud of our students and for everything that we achieve here. And this is what we want from the new Year 7s entering. We want them to aspire to all of these destinations across the globe. And these are just some of the destinations that our students that left last year have moved on to. And there are some phenomenal destinations on here. This goes back to excellence and it goes back to aspiration. We want our students to aspire to top universities across the globe, and we support students to achieve places at Russell Group universities, at Ivy League universities, but we nurture individual passions. And I know this might sound crazy because it's 7 years away, but that's our job in school, to nurture their passions so that when they get to that phase of their life, they're really ready. They know what they want to do. They know where they want to do it, and they have the skills to be able to be successful. So we've got this in mind for your sons and daughters that will be joining us in August. And we've got our eyes on 7 years down the line, what success looks like, so that we can map it backwards, so that we can be sure that we're preparing students, even from day one of Year 7, for excellence.
For me.
So I must introduce Mr. Chaiters. He's the person that's been sending you letters and bothering you all with lots of information, and he's the head of Key Stage 3. Now, he is the person that is an invaluable support for your children. They will have their form tutor, but he's the person who's going to run a mini school. So imagine Year 7, 8, 9 as Key Stage 3, as a school within a school, and his job is to look after all the young people from day one. So I'll pass over to him right now.
Thank you very much, Emily. Yeah, it's really exciting for me to talk to you this evening. I'm extremely excited about the coming years. If you were a little bit ahead of the game and you read some of the things on the screen now, you will be able to see I've been at the school quite a long time. I joined English College in 2008. So I'll just let that sink in a little bit. So I was actually working at EC before the current Year 6s were born. And that brings its advantages, of course, which I'll allude to later. I joined the school, so I'll give you a little bit of background on myself this evening. I joined the school as head of physical education in 2008. I've also got experience being head of Year 12 and 13 at the college, so at the top end of the school. I've been deputy head of middle school for the last 2 years. So we broke into a middle school model. So I was deputy head of Year 6, 7, 8, and 9, which involved, well, pastoral, but also academic, trying to drive the school forward. My teaching experience is pretty vast. I've taught and I continue to teach students from FS1 up to Year 13. So I've got a pretty good understanding of where students start in their learning journey and also where we aspire to get them to by the end of the learning journey. So where we are at the moment, I'm pretty experienced in knowing where they've come from, but also where I want to get them to or help them get to as we move throughout their school life. And my current role, which I'm extremely excited about, is that I am going to be head of Key Stage 3. And Emily just mentioned this earlier. So I'm going to be not just the head of year in Year 7 or head of phase, I will be head of phase for the next 3 years. So this is a long-term relationship. It's not going to be just 1 year and then see you later. I am going to be integral to your sons and daughters' education over the next 3 years. So it's important that you know where I come from. Important you know what my philosophy is, because I am going to be working very closely with both yourselves and your sons and daughters in the coming years. And one of the reasons and one of the things I was thinking about when I was putting this presentation together is I'm going to share a little bit with you this evening about what type of leader I am. So over the years, I've done many of these presentations and I've talked about generic things like what shoes to wear, what uniform. And I'm conscious that lots of this has been shared with you on via the parental handbook. So what I want to do today is for you to have a better understanding of me, us as a school, what our philosophies are, what our vision is, and what your children are going to buy into, what we're going to be doing to make our vision a reality for your sons and daughters moving forward.
So I'm going to talk a little bit this evening, literally 5 minutes, about what type of leader I am. So we do, as a leadership, as a school, we really invest in the leadership of our staff. And one of the things we do is a Gallup strength test. So we try and fill out a psychoanalysis, a questionnaire, try and find out what type of leader we are. Because then if we know what type of leader we are, we know how we're going to use that to lead the school forward, to lead the school on to better things. And then I'm going to relate that to you this evening, how that's going to have an impact and help your sons and daughters as we move forward. So there's 5 leadership strengths that apparently I have, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how that is going to have an impact, so that you know how I work and have a better understanding about why some of the decisions that I make will be made and how that will help your children. So the first one, I am a relator. So this is my biggest strength as a leader. So I'm a relator. People who are especially talented in the relator theme enjoy close relationships with others. They find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. And this is so true. I'm a team player. I played sport my whole life, and I am very much part of a team. And when I say team, I mean I love working with other people. And what I want to, how that's going to help me in my role or help me in the school is I want to work together with staff and parents. I want to work together with staff, parents, and students to ensure that we all are on the same page. We're all pulling in the same direction. Part of that, as being a relator, is communication is going to be key. So communication is a two-way process. Obviously, I want to over-communicate with you as parents. I want you to know every single thing that we are doing and also why we are doing it. But also communication, I want to listen to you as parents. I really do want to open a dialogue that we're a very open school, and if you've got anything to give us as advice or share with us, we want to be a listening school. The great schools listen, and we are going to be an extremely good school at listening to you guys. I'm passionate about developing our school community. As being a relator, it's important to me that we are all in the same team, pulling in the same direction. So it's very important that we are all buying into the English College. The English College is so integral to us as parents, as students, as staff, that we are all contributing and all doing the best that we can to move the college forward. And the greatest teams are the ones that all pull in the same direction. And you as parents are going to be integral to that. It's very easy to send your student off to school and out of sight, out of mind, but I don't want that. I want you to be involved in the college. I want, obviously, your children are going to be involved in the college and the staff are, but I want our parent body to be integral in moving us forward. Second biggest thing, my strength, is that I'm very analytical. Now, analytical people who are especially talented search for reasons and causes. They have the ability to think about all the facts that might affect a situation. And again, this is very true about me as a person. It doesn't help me all the time in life, but as an educator and as a head of phase, it certainly does. I want to see progress. I'm constantly striving to see, what is the data showing me? How can I analyze that? Are we doing a good job? Is this student making progress? If they're not, why? I will constantly be looking for ways that they can improve. And whatever that may be, whether we have to look under different stones, we have to think about it. Analytical is so important in my role that I am constantly looking for where your sons and daughters are, but also what are we doing to enable them to make progress. I'll approach all issues with a calm approach. So another thing that comes through as an analytical leader is they're very calm and very level-headed. And this is something that I really do benefit from in my role, is that I will always be somebody that is a constant for your sons and daughters, in that they can always rely on me. I'll be calm in my advice, and I'll be calm in my approach to every single thing that we do. And I, as I've already alluded to, will constantly be analysing our data to ensure that we as a college are doing everything possible to enable them to make progress and to be happy in school. Third of the 5 is that I am an achiever. People who are especially talented in the achiever theme have a great deal of stamina and work hard. They take great satisfaction from being busy and productive. And this is, again, what I will be bringing as head of phase at the English College. I will lead by example. I will always be the person that is leading by example in terms of putting every single ounce of my effort into trying to help your sons and daughters achieve and to make sure that the English College is the best college it possibly can be for them. and I'm a little bit, I will admit it, I'm a little bit competitive. So I do want my key stage to achieve the highest standards. I'm not just competitive within the school, but I'm also competitive within Dubai. I want us to be achieving. I want our children to be achieving. And I don't just mean in academia, I mean in a holistic development. I want everybody to be achieving their best. I'll dedicate time, energy to helping others. And this, as I've just alluded to, it's not just academia, but also in the sports and the arts and the beyond the curriculum. I'm determined for us as a college to be not just being part of the race. I want us to be leading the race. Individualization is my fourth. There are 5 of these. People who are especially talented in this individualization theme are intrigued with the unique qualities of each person. They have a gift for figuring out people who are different and can work together productively. And I think this is a really good quality to have, and I'm really pleased that I have this, is that I will ensure that no student in our college is ever left in the shadows. I'm not somebody that generalizes students or puts them into groups, or I'm somebody that is so passionate about that we realize the individual characteristics that every single student brings to us as a college. We all bring our uniqueness, all our children. I've been teaching now for 21 years, and every single student is different, and they all bring a backpack with them which is filled with different characters, different traits, and that is integral to making the college what it is. We don't want to mold your children into being something. We want to celebrate what they are, and we want to help them achieve their potential, whatever that may be. And Emily alluded to it earlier, that whichever direction they want to go, we want to support them, and we want to push them and support them in their development as an individual. Every student will be included. So we will always be looking to not just feeding them a generic curriculum that is the same for everyone. We will be treating them as individuals and making sure that we're giving them what they need when they need it, and making sure that they realize that we all contribute to the English college. It's not, nobody's more important than anybody else. And the final one that I want to talk about me as a leader is I have ideation. So people that are especially talented in this ideation theme are fascinated by ideas. They're able to find connections between seemingly disparate phenomena. So the way that I see this as a strength in terms of my role is I want students that are going to create the future. I don't just want students that will remember the past. So I want our students to be the ones that are taking risks, pushing boundaries, looking to make their own trail rather than just follow somebody else's. I'm constantly thinking about how to improve, but I want them to be constantly thinking about how to improve. We will, as a college, we implement research-based teaching practices. We're at the forefront of education and everything that we do, but I want our students to be at the forefront. I want them to be pushing boundaries, changing the future. And always, I want a culture at the English College that we constantly thinking, how can I do it better? Never settling for substandard, but also that our students are thinking, right, yeah, I've done okay, but how can I do it better? How can I do that better than somebody that's done it previously? And as I've just said, empowering students to help create the future. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an indication about me and the way I think and the way I act and the way I will be. How will I know that I've been successful? What will I see as success in my role as working as Key Stage 3 lead? This is what I want to see. So whether you agree, hopefully you do. First of all, I want to see happy, motivated students. I want to see students that are happy to come to school. I don't want students that are not coming out of bed, wanting to get out of bed and, oh, I've got school. I want students that want to come to school because there's something and they see value in coming to school. Obviously, I want a school that's the students feel safe and secure. So we have an excellent support team, pastoral team, and every single year that we've had KHD inspections, we've always been outstanding for our pastoral support and care, which continues to get better and better. That is non-negotiable for me. Every single student should always feel safe and secure. We have a zero tolerance on bullying, and we, because of our relatively small size, we do have our finger on the pulse. We're very reactive to students, and we're very reactive to being able to intervene if any student has anything that they need extra help or support. We are there. Obviously, I want all students to make progress. And again, I don't just mean academia, but obviously we want them to do well academically, which we do, as Emily showed you earlier, as a school, but also make progress in their holistic skills, their confidence, their ability to grow as young individuals. We want to see them making progress as a school. And this is a saying that I think I read this in a book, but as an education, if we're going to be successful as a school, we want to prepare our students for the tests of life, not just a life of tests. So it's very easy, and as I said, I'm an experienced teacher, that we get bogged down with data and results and what did you get in maths, what did you get in English, which is important. However, as a school, we want to make sure that we're giving them more than that, more than an A in maths. We're giving them the skills to be able to be confident, to be people that will go and problem solve and communicate and collaborate and be successful in so much more than just being good at sitting a test. And the way that the college is set up and the way the staff that we have and the community that we have, I think we're in a fantastic position to do that. Okay, so going more a little bit, that's more holistically and quite philosophical. So how it will work at EC in terms of our pastoral care, the tutor is going to be such an integral part of your child's life. So we empower our form tutors to be the first port of call for you as the parents. They will spend 30 minutes minimum with the child. So often there's a jump from primary to secondary, and one of the biggest jumps is suddenly they're not with one teacher for the same amount of time. So primary, generally they will be with the same teacher all day. And sometimes you go to secondary and they're hardly with the same teacher at all. Like some schools might do 5 minutes registration and that's it. We really do see the importance of having that connection in terms of our pastoral care. So our tutors will spend 30 minutes doing different things with every single morning, productive things such as positive education, whether it be assemblies, whether it be just drop everything and read, but they will have that connection. They will be the first person that you will contact if you have any queries. So rather than coming to me, I mean, I'm the next potentially up the ladder, but they will have an open dialogue with you. And I want our tutors to be very open to contact yourselves, but also I want you to feel confident that you can contact the tutor at any time, because you will have concerns throughout the year. You may have a question. The tutor will be very open in responding to that. As I've said, they will be spend 30 minutes every morning, plus a longer session on a Thursday, and they will be the person that will be very supportive. They will be there to intervene. So also our tutors don't just look at them from a pastoral point of view. They will have their finger on the pulse in terms of the academia. They will be checking. They should know your child inside out. They should know not just how good they are at maths, but they should know what their interests are. But also they will be able to tell when they're maybe not feeling as good, and they will maybe be able to say, look, your grades are not possibly doing as well. Is there anything that I can support you with or help you with? We also, beyond that, we also have other support available. So we have our head of inclusion, Rabbi Ahmed, who is, and when I say inclusion, that is to ensure that every single student is included, not just those that are struggling, but also those that are maybe thriving and need extra challenge. So we as a school are responsible for making sure that every single student. Okay, we also have Ms. Christiana Edgekem, who is our learning support assistant, who will support Ms. Rabia in terms of helping with any students that maybe are struggling a little bit, making sure that we as a college are doing our intervention and have everything in place to support them and scaffold for them the best that we possibly can. We also, as a college, are extremely supportive in terms of our pastoral care. We have, which we didn't have for many years, we have a full-time trained counsellor, Jade Ashcroft, who is there as and when needed. Does she have a specific job description? She is there to support our children, and she is very good at being able to be a person that is maybe students do. And in today's day and age, students might have numerous concerns, anxieties, problems with confidence, and she's there to support them, and she will do excellent sessions, one-to-one sessions, but also she's there to support us as teachers in terms of making sure that we're delivering an excellent program in terms of well-being and making sure that we're there to support our students in every single aspect. We also have a designated safeguarding team. So although many of our staff, myself included, are safeguard trained, if ever there are, again, your children's well-being is our #1 concern. So if ever there are any concerns in terms of well-being or anything at all, we have Emily, who spoke to you earlier, Mr. Darrell Sims, and Miss Nicola Harmer, who's our deputy head starting, and they are there to have their fingers on the pulse with anything that we need to support, that we are there to offer the best possible support network that we possibly can to make sure that all of our students feel safe, secure, and are protected to the best possible level that we can. Okay, I'm going to hand over now, because you probably listened to me for quite a while. I'm going to hand over to our head girl and head boy, who would just like to say a little bit this evening. Are you there? Norah?
I'm not sure they've joined us yet, Mr. Chaiters, so maybe we can carry on and then come back to them later.
Okay, right, okay, I don't mind doing that. Okay, I will carry on. I thought everybody would maybe need a break from me. Okay, so let's get back to the basics. So transition day tomorrow is an extremely exciting day. We can't wait. Just some logistics for you now. And can I just ask that you please drop your son, daughter off at the main gate, so outside the main new building, gate number 5 at 8:30 a.m. Our current year 6 students just come to school as normal. So if you're a current parent of a year 6 student at English College, they just come to school as normal, and Mr. Budd and Miss Phillips will walk them across. Students will be taken to the assembly hall for an introductory assembly from myself, so I will be able to be there smiling and saying hello to them all and welcoming them to the English College. They will then be visiting various lessons. So we've put on a bit of a holistic, we've got some of our faculties involved to hopefully deliver a fun and engaging day. So we've got maths, English, science, physical education and computing. They will be doing that on a carousel basis within their forms. Although they're doing physical education, they do not need to bring a PE kit. It'll be more of a problem-solving type activity that they can do in their school uniform. Logistically, just could I ask that they bring a packed lunch with them for tomorrow? Obviously, they'll need a drink or some water and an electronic device. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but an iPad or a laptop will be sufficient. Anything that they can get onto the internet with. Also, the end of the day will be at the same gate. So could I just ask that you're there nice and early, please, at 2:30 at gate 5. There's should be ample parking. I've arranged it so that you're not picking up at the same time as our current students. So they should be able to come out, find you at the main gate, and then you can take them home. Current EC students, they will just be taken back to the normal classrooms and then can be picked up from the normal gate as usual. What to expect also in August. So we're not finished with this evening, so things to look forward to is on Thursday the 26th of August we will be hosting an induction day, and this is a day for all new students to the English College, so not just year 7 as I'm speaking to tonight. We will be hosting it for all students that are joining us in other years right up to year 12, where we will be running a welcome from our senior leadership team. You as parents are invited, obviously. There will be opportunities for you to access lots of information. So we designed the day so that, which all will be shared with you in the coming weeks, but we've designed the day so that you also have, we put on stalls, so everything from our bus provider to our catering company, there will be, we've covered all bases. We'll be there to give you information that you can go to. If there's anything that you as a family are a little bit unsure of, whether it's our information management system, you can go there, get information, login details, etc. The students will also, while you're doing that, listening to us as senior leaders talk, they will be able to, they will go and do an induction day, which will be very informative and also very engaging. Sunday the 29th of August will be the first day of term, and that's when we are in and we all start. So drop off between 7:30 and 7:45. Registration at the English College is 7:45, so please ensure that students are dropped off before that, otherwise they will be marked as late. And just make sure that obviously that they've got their equipment, their lunch and their water for the day. It sounds obvious, but we still get lots of students not bringing the correct equipment or forgetting their lunch or water. A lot of them rely on me to give them extra water. Other things to look forward to, I just thought I'd mention some of these this evening. Wednesday, the 8th of September, we have a whole school information evening online, where we invite all of our new parents, and we will cover all relevant information and also host questions. So you will be asked for before, so anything that we've not covered previously, we will be covering on that evening. And we will be hopefully setting the scene for the year. Things may be different by then. We may have more information to give you regarding COVID, etc. Thursday, the 30th of September, quite exciting, is going to be our Year 7 team building afternoon, which will take place after school. So we're going to have a fun day after school where we hopefully it will allow our students to get to know each other a little bit better. We'll have lots of sports, lots of challenges, and again, maybe COVID dependent, possibly barbecue pizza. So it's a little bit more fun. And again, I've talked about the holistic education, but it's given our students a little bit more beyond the curriculum, something to enjoy at the college. On the 27th of October, a little bit seems a long way off now, will be your first parents' evening. So the parents' evenings are more for your academic subjects to be able to give you, so we have it quite early, but it can't be too early because we won't have enough information to share with you, but as early as we can. So they will give you an update on the academic progress, how your son or daughter is doing in their lessons, how they're settling in to the secondary school, are there any issues or concerns or things that they need to work on. Thursday, the 28th of October, the next night, we will have a fun activity, which is a Year 7-8 Halloween disco, which we again will be empowering our students to come up with and organize and giving them ownership over that. And as I've said, students are encouraged to do that. Things for you as parents now to try and that we really, if you're wondering what can I do now, obviously they will need to have a uniform, which should be fully stocked in Zach's. So they may grow. Some of you may be putting that off a little bit, thinking they may have a growth spurt, but obviously they will need to have a uniform before they start in August. Set up a student email account. I did share that with you. I know the sharing settings were a bit difficult for some of you. It was not letting you in, but everybody that asked for access should have now have access. If there are any problems setting up that student email address, please do email me and I will do my best to rectify the problem. Bit of admin things from our admin team. Before the 31st of July, the KHDA transfer certificate from your current school must be signed. So if you're from outside Dubai, we still require a transfer certificate from your current school, and that can be emailed to admissions@englishcollege.ac.aa. So those of you that are transferring from another Dubai school, just get in touch with your current school and ask them for the transfer certificate, and please do email it to admissions@the-English-College. Before the 26th of August, another important one, which hopefully I'll not be having to chase up in the future, is parents will receive instructions to sign their KHDA online contract. This must be signed by one parent before the term starts. So please do your best to get that signed before the term starts on the 26th of August, which is a KHDA requirement. That's not for the school. All students in Dubai have to sign that before term starts. Okay, just mention that. Okay, I'm not sure if Norah and Yusuf are here, so I will.
They are both here. So shall we move on to them?
Do you want to go to them? Yep, I will mute myself.
Hello, I'm Norah. I'm the head girl of the English College, and I'm very excited to talk about life for your child here at our secondary school. I've been at the English College since I was 11 years old, so I know how nerve-wracking it can be when joining an unfamiliar school with new people and new teachers. It can all seem quite scary.
Hello, I'm Yusuf, and I'm head boy of the English College. I've been at EC since year 9. I see EC as my second home. I've learned many life lessons at EC, from meeting different people from different nationalities and adapting new habits and new ideas. The EC community is a caring, friendly, and supportive community, making it very easy for new students to settle in.
We believe that at the English College, it will be one of the easiest transitions the students will ever make. From first-hand experience, I know that the students will feel at home very quickly. The intimate class sizes allow them to get to know all of their peers, and I'm proud to say that the kindness of the students will mean they're never left feeling excluded. I cannot stress enough the importance of the form tutor for your child. Each student will have a form tutor who's their familiar face. They will see them every morning. They provide guidance, and they're also the main link between the parents and the school. My form tutor, Miss Duncan, has helped me with my university applications this year and always says a cheerful good morning to start my day. We have a great community feel at EC, and most students see it more as a type of family because of the level of care that EC provides to each and every student.
To help you understand how we strengthen this community feel with our students, I would like to highlight to you the help and support given to each student. In our roles, Norah and I lead a team of students called the Cabinet, where we generate ideas to improve key areas in the school. These areas are the Student Council, House and Sports, the Arts, Sustainability, Careers and Higher Education, Media and Communication, Charities, and Well-being. Each of these areas is key to building our community and ensuring that my fellow students and I, when we leave EC, we have the ability to make a difference in the school. We aim to encourage good mental health, high life satisfaction, a sense of meaning, purpose, and the ability to manage stress. We will concentrate on making students healthy and happy.
Yusuf and I aim to be as approachable as possible to all of the students and will be a familiar face to your child from day one. We plan to run fun icebreaker sessions with our new Year 7 students and help to develop those bonds amongst their peers early into their time here at the school. We also provide them with a program known as Safe House. Safe House is a club run by a group of students known as student listeners. These students have been trained by the school counselor to help people deal with stress, friendship problems, anxious thoughts, or major life changes and events. They're also available to answer any questions you may have about life at EC in general. We will make this program very visible to your child as soon as they begin. We really can't wait to meet your children and welcome them into the EC family.
Our mission is to encourage your child to work hard, dream big, and never give up. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you after summer.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Let's go back to where I was frequently asked questions, and I think that was a problem on potentially my part, not letting them into the meeting rather than them being late. So I'll not hold that against them. Okay, what I'll do now is I did ask for some frequently asked questions from you guys beforehand, so hopefully this will be informative. But if there's anything questions that you have after this evening or after our presentation, please do email me. You all have my email address,
and that's what I'm there for. That's my job, to answer the question. So if there's anything that you have, please do that in touch, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Is it possible to change classes due to comfort zone? It's a good question. Already I've had some requests from some of you, and I have done my best, and I think I've made the changes that were requested. What I'm reluctant to do is make changes too early, in the fact that sometimes and again, I think I've alluded to quite a lot tonight, is I'm very experienced in that students don't know what their comfort zone is until they've been in that zone. And even 2 years ago, I had a parent that was demanding that their child was moved out of there on day one, and I said, give it 1 week, and if they're unhappy, I will change them. And at the end of the week, I went to that young girl and I said, do you want to change form? She said, no, I love my form. I've made so many new friends. I love my form tutor. I don't want to change. So although last thing I want is for any student in my college or our college to be feeling unhappy, but I will also not just do it on a whim. I won't just change students' form just on a whim. It will always have to be reason behind it. So I have tried to make some changes already, but please, if your child is in a form on day one, they're not too sure, let them see how it is. Let them see them. They will make new friends. I guarantee they will make new friends in their first week. And yes, it's nice to be with a lot of friends from a previous primary school, but we've got a lot of nice students from lots of primary schools, and that's kind of the exciting thing about it. Will the students attend every day, or will it be staggered? No, students will attend every day. I'm a firm believer, obviously at the moment, the English College has been open the whole time, whenever it can be. We've never had a staggered opening for different year groups. We've always had, when we are allowed, we've had all students in. We do have blended learning, which is a KHDA directive. The evidence does suggest quite strongly that students do better when they're in school, but obviously we understand that there may be reasons beyond your control or our control that they have to do distant learning. But no, we will be open. Students are coming into school for face-to-face learning. It is much more effective and much more beneficial for our students to be in school, and we will be fully open if KHD allow us to be. Which device should be brought to school? I have had a couple of questions on this. It is really up to you as parents. I wouldn't really suggest one. I don't personally believe in having anything too expensive. The main requirement for our devices for our children is that it can access the internet. It really, I'm speaking here a little bit of a loss, but processing speeds, etc., or gigahertz or memory, etc., is really irrelevant. They will need access to, and all our platforms are online platforms, the Google Classroom, etc. They don't need to store anything on the device. They don't need to be on an application that needs breakneck speed. They just need something that they can get on the internet. It's quite durable. You know your children better than us. So if they're quite clumsy, possibly get them one that's quite durable. But the device, as long as they can get on the internet, we'll leave that decision up to you as parents, because you're the ones that potentially will be buying it. When will the ECA activities begin? It's a very good question. ECA are planned, and I'm quite integral in the planning of extracurricular activities, will be planned to start at the start of the first term. We as a school, like all schools in Dubai, are under the director from the KHDA and the DHA, the Dubai Health Authority. So we have to dance to their tune. If they say we can't run extracurricular activities, then we don't. We did run after school PE sessions this year, when I know a lot of schools didn't. However, we just have to really conform. As soon as we're given the green light, we will be fully open running ECAs. They generally take place after school. So from 3:30 till 4:30. We do sometimes run before school sessions, but they're a lot more rare. Occasionally lunchtime sessions, but we try and avoid that because it's quite quick and they don't really have time. So most sessions, extracurricular, will take place after the school day, and that will depend. We have to fit it all in, all year groups. So we can't say that now, but for example, year 7 football might be on a Monday, and then, but it might not be, it might be on a Wednesday because year 9 football is on a Monday, etc. But we are planning, and we really are enthusiastic, and as a part of the PE department, I know how enthusiastic the PE department are to really get sporting clubs up and running as quick as possible. What will the class sizes be? Yeah, that's another good question. We limit the maximum ever in a class will be 22. Currently, sizes of the classes will be around 18, but the maximum capacity for any class will be 22. So depending on how many students we have in the school, but 22 will be the maximum, but generally there'll be a little bit less than that, which is a really good thing about the English college, is that we do have slightly a smaller school. The class sizes are smaller as well, which is, I think, a big USP for us. How will the children that are excelling be encouraged? Yeah, as I said, I could answer this question with just excelling, but we do have a very an inclusion lead. And inclusion doesn't just mean students that are struggling with a curriculum, it means those that are possibly excelling. So it's our job to make sure that every single student is catered for. And if a student is excelling, they will be encouraged in terms of providing them with the appropriate level of challenge in everything that we do. So that will be down to the heads of faculty, and part of my job is to make sure that the heads of faculty are challenging every single student. And by challenge, I mean challenge to everybody. So whatever that may be, we have to make sure that we are delivering a curriculum that is challenging. No student should ever find work easy. If you find something easy, it's not doing you any good. So if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. It's one of my favorite sayings, and I believe in that. So if ever your son or daughter is finding work easy, then we're not doing our job properly. And that again would be a reason for you to contact possibly the tutor and say, my son, my daughter isn't really being challenged, and we have to react to that. But hopefully that won't happen, because we have excellent teachers that do have their fingers on the pulse and will ensure that we're doing all that we can to include every single student and the challenge, what they require. Do year 7 need to be collected by parents, or can they leave unsupervised? No, year 7s leave unsupervised. Generally, with COVID at the moment, we've been asking for students to bring a phone, to get a text message to show the teacher when you are outside. The reason for that was we're not allowed to have groups of students hanging around our students. So if we just let every student out at one and you're not there to pick them up, then that can be a problem because we end up with lots of students in one place, which isn't following COVID guidelines. So whether we continue with that next year will depend on what the directive is from the KHDA, but no, they can leave. I mean, I know that we've got a year 6 that lives across the road, and yeah, he can walk across the road, or they can leave and then come to you in the car for you to arrange a space to pick them up from. Final question that was sent to me was what specific things will be done to promote reading and spellings in English. Yeah, so I did, and I said earlier that I'm a collaborator, or I'm connected. I like to work with other people. So I did send this question to our head of English, and she was very thorough in her reply. And she did reply that, I'll allow you to read it. As part of our new piece of tree curriculum design, students will now be allocated one in-class reading and pleasure lessons each week. With this, we hope to promote a love of reading with our students and allow them to explore a range of different texts from different contexts. Along with this, our new thematic curriculum is heavily focused on developing students' vocabulary and reading skills. Within this curriculum, students will explore a range of challenging new texts from a range of different fiction and non-fiction contexts to enhance their ability to read at a high level. And the tasks that are entwined allow the development of vocabulary as well as improving spelling, punctuation, and grammar. We have also planned for regular spelling tests to review and consolidate learning of new vocabulary within the planned curriculum. Within the new appointment of our literacy coordinator across the college, students will be assessed on the reading age at the start of the year. Any student who requires support to align their reading age with a chronological age will be provided with a personalised support programme, which will be regularly reviewed. We're very much focused on developing students' reading skills and their spelling, punctuation, and grammar across the whole school. So the English department will be working alongside other departments to ensure a consistent approach in developing these skills. The reason I showed you that response is just to reiterate what I said at the start of the presentation, is that many questions that you could ask me, I wouldn't have been able to respond in quite as much depth as that. But as I said, we are a team, and we work together as staff, and also with yourselves and the students, and that we will always do our best to work as a team to give you the best possible service for your children that we possibly can. I'm a firm believer that I work for your sons and daughters, and I will work as hard as I possibly can to ensure that their experience at the English College is as positive as it possibly can be. I think we maybe have some questions in the chat. I don't know if we're going to have time to answer those. I was just going to end with saying a big thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Mr. Chaters. Sorry, I've been monitoring the chat, and I think I can quite quickly get through all of them, if that's okay.
Okay, I will just finish just very quickly. I would just like to say thank you. Look forward to welcoming you, seeing you all soon. I said at the start, I am genuinely excited about the coming years. I feel that the English College is in a fantastic place to move forward. We have a great principal, a great head of secondary, and I think you've made a fantastic choice of secondary school, and hopefully we will prove that to you in the coming years. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Okay, so just to go through some of the questions in the chat, is it possible to get the Year 7 curriculum before summer starts? Absolutely. We will ask our heads of faculty to share that with us, and Mr. Chaters can make that available to you. When we will know who will be the form teacher. So most of our Year 7 form teachers are actually new to school, so it's a bit of a surprise. So don't tell your sons and daughters, but they've filmed a video tomorrow to show to the students to introduce themselves. So the students will know tomorrow who their form tutor is, but most of them are actually new to EC. They're joining us from other schools. Next question. So what time does school start and finish? I popped in the chat. It's 7:45 until 3:20, and then hopefully we'll be able to have ECAs 3:30 till 4:30 afterwards. The amount of times we've said that word, hopefully. What mode of resources will be made available as per the curriculum? So we're a Google school, so just about everything that we do is on Google, which means that it is shareable to parents as well. So we have Google Classrooms that every single teacher will set up for their classes, and the curriculum and all the learning materials and everything will be on there. And if students need access to exercise books or textbooks, they will be made available to them. So that's not something that parents need to worry about. But there will be a session in August on the new Parents Induction Day, where there will be people people there to help you set up Google Classroom so that you can monitor your sons and daughters' homework and the materials that they've been given for teaching and learning. So you might want to bring your own device on that day in August so that you can set them up on yours. Will school be optional for students online face-to-face? The honest answer is I would love to have all the students back in the building. I've done a lot of work this year on wellbeing and motivation, and there's a huge difference between those that learn online and those that learn in the classroom in terms of their wellbeing, their motivation and their attainment. But we're still to hear from KHDA. There's a very, very strong possibility that they will ask us to still offer online learning next year. So for the time being, it's likely that we will have a small proportion of our students doing online learning. What type of device for year 7 is a really, really good question, and it really depends on what works best for you. I would say we have a 50-50 split in school between a tablet device and a laptop. Some students find it easier on a laptop, other people prefer a tablet, and then some have kind of a separate keyboard that you can get with some tablets. Other people prefer a hybrid laptop where the top is touchscreen as well. I'm an Apple fan, but we're not an Apple school, so it completely depends on what works best for your son or daughter. Please don't go out and spend a fortune on buying a new device. Whatever they have got and what works for them is fine to start with, and then they can review it afterwards. I'd probably advise them to use whatever device they've been using in year 6 at least to begin with. Which languages are in year 7 curriculum? Do students choose between French and Spanish, or can they study both? That's an awesome question. We have invested in our language provision for next year, and we're going to 2 hours a week for year 7, 8 and 9. Students in year 7 will do French for a term, Spanish for a term, and then we'll choose which one they prefer. And this gives them exposure to both, but then it gives them a good couple of years studying the language so that they've got depth to their knowledge, but they have experienced both to start with. How will teachers deal with mixed abilities of students? Okay, so we do set in some subjects. We set in maths and science, and then sometimes we set in English. That's yet to be decided for next year by the new head of English faculty. But to be honest, in the primary classroom, the teachers have had a mixed ability class. They've had students who really excel in some areas and students that struggle in others. And it's your professional duty as a teacher to meet the needs of everybody in your classroom. So it's not easy, I won't pretend it is, but you get data every class from what students can do and what they struggle with, and you use that to inform your planning. So the purpose of marking is not to give students a grade, it's for you as a teacher to use it to inform better lessons next to help them make more progress. So it's a really long, difficult answer, but it is something that as a professional teacher, it is your responsibility to do. Yeah, we have recorded the whole process, so we absolutely will share that with everybody this evening. Tomorrow's 8:30 drop off and 2:30 pick up. Is that correct? That is correct. But our current EC students can come at normal time for them and leave at normal time, so that we're not being awkward for parents who've got multiple drop-offs and pickups. But for students who are new to EC, yes, that is correct. A Thursday finish time is also 3:20. That's a really good question. Thursday we finish earlier. We finish at 12:50 at the moment. So yeah, it is an early finish on a Thursday. What do students have to wear tomorrow? Students can just wear their normal school uniform tomorrow, or if it's not clean, just something smart, but they can just wear their normal school uniform from their school. I think that's it. Any more questions, anyone? Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time and your attendance this evening. We really, really appreciate you taking a good proportion of your evening to listen to us. We really, really hope your sons and daughters have an awesome time tomorrow. They will be greeted on the gate by some of our most wonderful Key Stage 5 students to make sure that they're happy and safe. The best feedback we can have tomorrow is that they come home excited. And if they do come home excited, please share that with us. And if we don't do a proper job, then please make sure you tell us. Yes, that's correct, 12:50. So 12:45 to 12:55 is finish time on a Thursday. Okay. Okay, so any more questions that you have, please do send them to Mr. Chaters directly and he can answer any more questions. But thank you so much for your time and your attendance this evening. Hopefully your sons and daughters will come home tomorrow saying they've had a wonderful day. Please do give us feedback to see if we've got it right or not tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone.